What's up everyone and welcome. So today we'll be talking about user input, so let's get straight into it. Okay, so sometimes our program needs to get data from the user. For example, whenever you log in to any account, you have to type in your email and your password. That's an example of user input because you're having to type in information that will be sent into the program. So to get user input in Python, we can use the input function, and input is a built-in Python function, so let me show you how it works. So first we have to create a variable to store whatever the user types in. So we'll just create a variable called name, and we'll set equal to input, and since input is a function, we follow it with parentheses, and then inside the parentheses, we have to pass in our prompt. So the prompt is essentially what it's going to ask us to type in. So if we say like enter a name as our prompt, and then let's just print out the name afterwards, and then we'll run our program. So you see it's asking me for a name, and so once I enter my name and then hit enter, then you see it prints my name. Okay, one thing to know with user input is that the input function always returns a string. So for example, like let's just say we had an age variable, and we'll set equal to input, like enter your age, and then we'll print age for now. So then if we run our code, then you see 19, we get 19. So you might think that this is an integer, but it's actually treated as a string, just to show you all. If we print the type of age and then rerun our code, then you see we get class string. So the input function always returns a string. So since age is a string instead of an integer, some things won't work as you might expect. For example, what if we had a logical expression that checked if the age was greater than some number? Like, for example, if the age is greater than 21, then this actually isn't going to work because this is comparing a string to an integer. So the types aren't the same. So we actually have to use typecasting to convert this into an integer. But just to show you all that this won't work, if we try to run our code, we'll get an error. You see type error. It's saying that the greater than operator is not supported between strings and ints. So we have to change our age to be an integer, and we could do this in two ways. We could typecast it here, and now it'll work. Now you see we get false because 19 is not greater than 21. Or we could also use typecasting up here and say age is equal to int input. So now age will just be whatever integer the user types in. And just to show how this works, you see it works the same. So sometimes you might need to use typecasting to convert user input into another type. So I'll do one more example to demonstrate when you might want to use user input. So for example, whenever you go to the ATM, first it prompts you if you want to deposit or withdraw money. So depending on what you type, it'll do whatever you type, and then it'll probably prompt you for like an amount. So we can actually write a little mini program to kind of simulate what an ATM is kind of doing. Okay, so to create an ATM simulator, we need a few variables. First, we need a variable to store how much money the user has. So that might look something like this. Like total money is equal to, let's just say they have $100 in their account. Then we need to know their option. So if they want to deposit or withdraw. So we'll say like user option is equal to input, deposit or withdrawal. Here, and we'll actually make this an integer based. So here I'm gonna make a comment up here that says that 0 is deposit and 1 is withdrawal. So the user is gonna enter an integer, and then we're gonna use that integer to determine if they want to deposit or withdraw. And here we'll just say like deposit, say like 0, withdraw 1. Okay, so the user will type in 0 or 1, and that'll signify if they want to deposit or withdraw. Okay, so let's imagine they enter 0. So if they enter 0, then we need to know how much they want to deposit. So let's go ahead and handle that. So we'll say if user option is equal to 0. So this is essentially saying if the user input, or if the user wants to deposit, then we want another input statement to get how much money they want to deposit. So we'll say like amount deposit is equal to input, int input, Okay, and so then they'll enter some sort of amount, and then we want to add this amount to their total money. So then we can say total money plus equals amount deposit. Okay, and so that's all that we need for if they want to deposit. But if they want to withdraw, first we'll have an if statement that says if user, and we'll actually say elif user option is equal to 1. So this is saying if the user wants to withdraw, then we'll say, then we want, here we can actually kind of copy this line and then just make little modifications, amount withdraw. Okay, and then before we update our total money, we want to make sure that they can withdraw that amount. So we'll have another if statement that says if amount withdrawal is greater than total money, then we'll just print some sort of error message. We'll print like else we'll subtract we'll say total money minus equals amount withdrawal. And then at the very end of our program, we'll just print the total money, just so we can see what's actually happened. Okay, so let's test out our program. So first we'll test out depositing. So let's say we want to deposit another $100. So now you see our total money is $200. Okay, let's rerun our program. And since we just reran our program, our total money is back at 100. So like our total money doesn't save from time to time, but we could add something to account for that. Like we could use something called file handling to do that, but we haven't covered file handling yet. So just know that right now total money is 100 because we just started running the program. So let's just say we want to withdraw, say like $10. Then you see we have 90. Okay, let's try withdrawing 110. Oh, we actually have to withdraw 1. Okay, and then how much? 110. You see it says you can't withdraw that much, and our total money stays the same. So I hope that this example kind of demonstrates how you can use user input to create some sort of program. This kind of demonstrates like how you can get user input and how you can do some logic with user input and make some decisions. So hopefully this all makes sense, and if not, just leave questions down below, and I'm happy to answer. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.